Welcome back. We're going to start on our Skyline camera in Walker and leave the lake. Notice that beautiful blue sky. That's how it's been all day today. It's feeling and looking a lot better than it did, let's say, this time yesterday. And this is just the start of the changes that our weather is going to undergo over the next 12 to 24 hours. Still a bit on the hotter side. Many of us are in the mid to upper 80s. You were at 90 in Gonzales. You're down to 89 now. New Iberia at 90. Baton Rouge, Hammond. Lots of us looking at double eights on the map. We have the cold front that's pushed through the area. High pressure settling in, and on the water vapor imagery where you see all of the browns, that is a good indication of drier air that's pushing in from the north. That's why it feels a lot less muggy out there today, and that's going to be our trend as we go into your weekend. No real storm systems expected to impact the deep south at the moment, but you may notice in the upper left corner of your screen, got a big area of low pressure just off the coast of the Pacific Northwest. That's going to be bringing more precipitation to them, but not necessarily for us. Dew points for the time being comfortable, mostly in the mid 60s, and it's going to get even better than that as we go into the weekend. Lower 60s for the dew points, and on top of that, it looks like our low temperatures will be somewhat comfortable as well. Let's take a look at the headlines. Warm today, but that cooler air settles in tonight, so that's when we'll start to feel the benefits of that cool front. Beautiful weather over the weekend. Now, on another note, there aren't any mentions of rain. That's something we kind of like to hear after all of the rain that we had, especially on Monday, but in the long term, no rain is not necessarily a good thing, and I'll show you why in a few minutes. But for the moment, look at your Friday morning lows. Along and south of the I-10-12 corridor, we're talking low to mid 60s, likely getting into the upper 50s north of the interstate, and Friday highs are only going to be in the low to mid 80s, and that's where we should be for this time of year. And you will notice that trend continues all weekend long, so that's great for high school football tomorrow, live after 5, and then for the Tigers playing at Death Valley on Saturday, you are looking A-OK as well. Now, I want to tell you about the drought monitor, because you'll notice across Lake Pontchartrain, Maurepas, New Orleans up to Hammond and Slidell, you are dealing with drought conditions, moderate drought conditions at that. We've had a little bit of improvement due to the rain practically west of I-55, but notice as you get west of Baton Rouge, drought conditions across southwestern Louisiana, and unfortunately we're not seeing much rain in the forecast on top of what we've already had. And I know it is only October 9th, but one thing you want to notice is that we received those excessive rainfall amounts along I-55, so very wet conditions for the moment, practically from EBR Parish all the way to the mouth of the Mississippi River west of EBR. Look at that, well below normal rainfall so far this month. And like I said, it's the beginning of the month, so a lot more time can pass to get rain. But for the moment, not seeing any indication of that. Monday's rainfall, look at that, 6 inches and more for parts of Houma, Kentwood, and Summit, Mississippi. The Baton Rouge area picked up just under 1.5 inches on Monday. So far for the month, we're at 1 inch at 7,700, so we're 0.59 of an inch above the norm. But with no rain in the immediate forecast, we could be looking at worsening drought conditions across the area. As for the tropics, not much happening in the Gulf, but this is Tropical Storm Jerry. We've got tropical storm watches and warnings for parts of the Leeward Islands. Jerry not expected to impact the United States, but the islands as well as Bermuda could be taking somewhat of a hit from that. But looking at your week ahead, local weather, not all that bad over the weekend, but just keep in mind we will be closer to 90 degrees once again by early next week.